Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Scraptember combined with 30 days of sketches. Today's day 9 and our sketch today comes from Liz over at My Creative Scrapbook. This is a really fun sketch. Really like that it is kind of a diagonal, but it's going from the opposite corner that I usually work from. So that's kind of cool. So I took my 3-inch punch and I'm just punching some of this pattern paper from Brave and Bold, which is an Amy Tangerine collection. And I also punched, let's see here. Oh, I guess I'm using the 3.5-inch punch. Yeah, I tried it with a 3-inch and it was too small. So I jumped up to my 3.5-inch punch, and yes, it's huge. I do also have dies, but sometimes I just don't want to pull out the whole big die cut machine. And while the punch is huge, it is still smaller than a die cut machine. So it's not smaller than my sidekick, but you can't fit that big of a die through a sidekick. So it does work for me. So I really like how it's looking already. I've got these great teal colors. I am using some Catherine Pooler ink, I believe in Daydream. I think it's Daydream. Anyway, I am using that to ink up the edges of my paper just to give it a little bit of oomph, because white on top of white is going to get a little bit lost. And so that just definitely helps it to stand out, even though I'm backing it with the teal paper, because I'm using a punch of the same size. At some point, the two meet up, and then there's not much of a halo around the white, especially on the top and the bottom. But that's okay. I like how it looks, and like I said, the ink definitely helps that out. I have two photos, much like the sketch, but I have my photos in the opposite orientation. So I've got mine in a landscape. Theirs are in a portrait. And I'm just going to stack my two photos on top of each other and flip the whole thing. Not the whole sketch, just the whole centerpiece part of the sketch. And so I like how that's looking. I decided I was going to go ahead and ink up the edges of the paper just to kind of finish it off. I typically like to give my white papers like a nice dark frame of, like, black or navy or some other color, but I didn't have anything in the right color for this easily accessible, so I decided just to go ahead and ink it up and to finish it off. The other way that I sometimes do that is by stitching all the way around the outside, but I apparently didn't feel like going to my sewing machine today, so so I still have some of that same teal paper. I'm just layering that up underneath my photos. I don't need to have it connect all the way underneath because I only need the sides to show. And I'm liking how that looks. And then I pulled in some little offcuts from these other pieces of paper. The peach one is from Maggie Holmes. The turquoise one, I have no idea where it's from. It just has maybe like a burlap hatch mark kind of pattern to it, and it's tone on tone, so it reads like a solid. And I really like how it looks because it pulls in the lighter colors of that background paper, and it's just really a lighter shade of that teal color. So then I went to my Amy Tangerine sticker book and I pulled out this peach sticker to go ahead and use for a bit of a journaling spot. I am cutting that peach sticker. I don't guess I didn't show that part on screen, so that it is coming off out of the top and out of the bottom. And then I'm trying to line it up so that it looks like it is one piece all the way through. Because if I get that off, like right now it's a little bit off kilter and it doesn't look like it's quite one piece. I will be fixing that. I will be changing that a little bit. And then that piece that says Good Times Ahead, that's a Pink Fresh Studio sticker from a really old collection that's been in my stash for quite some time. So I'm glad to get that used up. And then I am using this Jen Hadfield collection that has this peach bicycle in it, and I like how that's looking because the photos are documenting that we took our bikes down to Monterey to go for a bike ride. And so it's got the Jeep with the two bikes on the back, and then me and my husband inside the cab of the Jeep as we were getting ready to pull out of the driveway. And so I thought it would be great to go ahead and use a bicycle on this because I don't know when else I would ever use a bicycle besides when I'm documenting bicycle photos, because that's just the way my mind works. I don't usually use themed items in like any other capacity other than the theme that they're designed for. I guess you could use it for like transportation type of a deal, but yeah, I'm not. It's not something that I think about regularly, so it's not my go-to to put a bicycle on like a food page or something like that. So this was the perfect time to use it, and it was the perfect color. And so then I went back to my sticker book, but that one came out of the Vicky Bouton sticker book, and that same lighter shade of teal works really well. So I'm tucking that in, even though it's like a banner flag. It's just adding another layer and some added color. And so that's making me pretty happy. Another reason that it's making me happy is because the prompt today for Scraptember was to use stickers. So I immediately went to my sticker books and thought I'll use stickers from the sticker book because that's a no-brainer. They need to get used, and there's tons of them. So I pulled out this ribbon, and it's not actually ribbon. It's a ribbon from, like, you know, a ribbon like I won something ribbon, not like ribbon as in a fiber texture. So I just pulled that out, and because it's a clear sticker, I backed it onto some white cardstock because I didn't want to see through it, and it kind of got lost. Even if I left it being clear, it was very lost on the page because it just kind of like melded into the background. But it was the perfect color, so I thought I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then also by adding the cardstock behind it, allowed me to pop it up onto some foam tape. If I didn't have that cardstock back there, it would be too flimsy to put on foam tape, and you would see the foam tape below it. So then I pulled out this sticker that has the bird, and I'm liking that. There were a lot of birds actually seen on that day because we actually rode 24 miles along the coast, and so there were a lot of seabirds, not necessarily the type of bird that's in this collection, but that's okay. That I can manage. So I'm liking how this is looking, and I'm just going to keep adding to those two embellishment areas, and then at some point I need to figure out where my title is going to go. In the sketch, the title is below the photos, but I don't want it down that low. And the piece that I'm going to use for my title is a see-through acrylic piece, and I don't really want it on top of all of those polka dots because it doesn't show up very well. And so I did toy with putting it there, as you can see, but I'm still trying to figure out where I want it. I do leave the backing on the acrylic. It comes with like this white backing on it that you're supposed to peel off, but then it makes it even more transparent. And so even though it had that backing on it while I put it on those polka dots or whatever that pattern is on the background paper, I could still see through it because it's still not quite opaque enough. It's like, it's less opaque than if I took the, or it's more opaque than if I took the backing off, but it's still not opaque enough. So then I move it up to that white cardstock in the upper right hand corner, and that allows me to go ahead and pull that backing off because now it has just plain white behind it. There are a couple of little spots where it, you know, crosses over the peach or the teal, but for the most part it is just on that white, and you can actually read it and it looks fine. So you did notice I had to move the photo area over a little bit more centrally located, rather than being more right justified like the sketch, but that's okay. You know, make that sketch work for you. If it doesn't work for your page, then you need to go ahead and just change it. I do have some glue dots, and I'm going to go ahead and stick those on. These are like in a travel pack from Eileen's. I don't even know where I got them, and so it just comes with one glue dot on each little like piece of plastic. So that's pretty much it. Go check out everyone else who is playing along. All of the links are in my description box down below. If you have questions or comments, you can definitely leave those for me, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you check out all of the other participants because there's tons and tons of great inspiration for you. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another video, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for spending time with me. See you soon. Bye-bye.